Penciled
But
in.
That
So
part.
translation, Marvin saying, "So where's the lot?"
Right. Right.
and we're streaming, guys. Hello. Hello, B and Marvin. First off, well, congratulations again on making it to the final two. Um, as confirmed, just real quick, you guys will be going at 8 p.m. tomorrow, EST. That is when the final tribal will start. Again, it is you guys will have 7 minutes for opening and closing, and the jury members will also have 7 minutes to ask you questions. Again, they can yield their time, so it could be as long as 7 minutes, but it could be as short as whatever they choose. So that's how the finale is going to work. But today is not about the finale; it's about reminiscing on our good old friends. So let me just get my charts up. All right. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to read out the person's name, and you're just going to talk. If you don't have any, obviously, if you didn't interact with them or you don't have anything to say, then we can move forward. But, um, yeah, I feel like I'm stalling, and I don't know why. My head's blanking.
What are the rules? Is this like, the library is open or like
So you could say whatever you choose to say about the person, but just remember that the play. That's what I was going to say.
no,
The
okay, I got you. I
the
got you
players
bouncing
the
around. I
player
don't know a bad word to say
the
about that.
players will be able to see this
Yeah.
after the season. So when we post the
Oh,
charts and everything.
Yeah,
So
I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around. I don't got shit to say, but let's do this.
all right.
they won't see it before tomorrow.
All right. So let's start with our 16th placer, Vandal.
Okay, yeah. So Vandal, I spoke to them briefly in the first tribal council, right? They were kind of funny and like iconic. They were like, I'm here to like get voted out first. Like, and then I remember they didn't know how to like cast their vote to, send home and all this stuff. And they were just like, William or whatever. But Vanda was nice. I couldn't vote, like Chris and I couldn't vote for her because she was just like cracking us up the whole time. So yeah, shout out you, Vandal. Somebody had to be first, and you rose to the occasion.
I don't know Vandal. Honestly, I didn't even know what Vandal looked like until the face morphs challenge.
That face
That's
more.
all I gotta say.
Y'all did her dirty with that face more. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is 15th placer, Corey.
You start, Marvin.
Oh, Corey. Um, well, Corey wasn't participating in challenges like me at that point in time in the game and was trying to take the wheel and call the shots and try to have a backup plan of being me. It didn't work out. Sorry. And that's thanks to obviously being Chris.
Yeah, Corey, like nice guy, I think. He was just like doing entirely too much, trying to like control and push the vote. Like Barvin said, you weren't in the challenges, you weren't shooting with us in the gym. Like, how you gonna come and start trying to dictate how the vote is gonna go? And the other thing about Corey is I felt like he was playing in my face too much. Like, just like giving kind of like butt kissing kind of like notes and things like that. And like then he left me this really like long 3 minute like voice note that was just confusing. And I was just like, okay, like you're just like rambling at this point. But yeah, Corey thought he was eating, but he got ate up. So and we saved Marvin, and that ultimately was the bridge that brought us together. And here we are in final two. So thank you, Corey, for spazzing out and tripping.
All right. Next up is our 14th placer, Logan.
You ain't got nothing to say,
I
B?
don't know her. I don't know her.
All right, so Logan I've known for quite some time. By quite some time, I mean like a few years, maybe more than a few years. And never had the opportunity to play with Logan, and still really haven't had the opportunity to play with Logan because we are always essentially on opposite ends of things. And it just so happens that this was one of those things again. We started on different tribes, and he was, I guess, the target the round he went because of all the fuckery that ended up happening during that tribal. But yeah, no, people wanted him out. Even the person, like, yeah, it just, you know, cards did not fall into his hands this time around.
Yeah,
So
and Logan, I said that the Face Morris was the best you've ever looked, and I accredit that to myself, but I'm gonna take that back because I have since learned that it was not my beautiful skin, but your own, because I morphed with the face on your t-shirt. So I will take that back. I'll run that compliment back. Um, that's all I have to say.
All right. Next up is our 13th placer, JJ.
Oh, JJ.
well,
Okay, yeah.
you can go B.
Yeah, so JJ, really cool guy. I think it was kind of sad to see him go. Like I obviously would have wanted to see how things would have progressed if he stuck around. I think he was very strategic. I could tell from the few talks that I had with him how his like brain works in these games, and I think he was, stiff competition when it comes to like strategy. But yeah, he was a sweet guy, and I hope like whatever, I wish him all the best with what he has going on. It was sad to see him quit.
Okay. So yeah, with JJ, it was just an unfortunate thing that, he had to pull himself from the game. But knowing how JJ is, and from the first experience that I had playing with JJ, had he not pulled himself, I could have definitely have seen him sitting here at the final two. 100%. Because in the past, there was the first time we played together, I told people, hey, if you take me out, JJ is going to get to the end because no one was going after JJ except me. They didn't listen. Jay got to the end and he ended up winning the game. So, yes, he is a very, very strategic person. He will try to get that information out of you without giving you a lot. And that's just the way he plays these games, and it's very beneficial for him.
All right. Next up is our 12th placer, J1.
Dude, Jay, I told you, man. I told you. I sat in that tribal and I said, if you think you're freaking safe, you're not. I tried to give you the one up that they were voting you out. I know that, like, maybe it was a little too late. You didn't believe me or whatever. I don't know that your vote would have even helped, though, because, nobody else was kind of trying to back you up here, but since you leaving, I definitely learned that you were running amok on that teacups tribe over there, which is funny. Yeah, play your own game, like do shake shit up. Sometimes you got to do that. But it just didn't work out for you in the way that you hoped. So yeah, I mean, next time I would say be a little bit more open to outside information or whatever, and yeah, be sure that the people that you think are with you. So that's it about that, about Jay.
Okay. So Jay, I am not surprised he went the way that he did. From the last game that we played together, it was me, him, and Julia all playing the game together. We were aligned with Jay, and same shit happened. He spiraled out of control, and he didn't want to trust the people that he was working with, even though those people would have had his back 100%. He gets paranoid easily, like extremely,
God.
extremely paranoid. But it is what it is. But he can definitely learn to trust people, and but at the same time, he does like to shake things up, and that's one thing I do respect when it comes to people as players shaking things up.
He had the right idea, but I think just the execution was flawed. But he had the right idea because, had we ended up on a tribe together, I think, I probably want the same people gone. So just didn't work out for you this time, brother.
All right, next up is our 11th placer, Coach RC.
You start.
Okay, Coach RC, where do I start? I was the person that spoke to her the least, and then the day that she got voted out, or the day before, I just start talking to her, and she's spilling all this information out to me. I'm like it just doesn't make sense. Like, obviously it was helpful for me, but at the same time it just made no sense because I wasn't the one you trusted the most. You trusted somebody else the most, yet I was the one getting all this information. Was she going to end up staying somehow? Absolutely not. She was going to be the one voted out that round, but she was, I will say, a very sweet lady, and that's one thing I do appreciate, is just having someone that's just like a breath of fresh air in these games. So
Yeah, RC, very nice lady. I agree with that point. Not trustworthy though. I gave you the opportunity to tell the truth. You were still lying. You just kept lying and lying and lying, and that's why you got booed. As simple as that. I think you started the alliance with Rachel and I, the girls, to fish for information. And then it turned into like this whole guilt trip of like, you guys could have kept me in on the vote. But at the same time, it's like, girl, like you were telling us about the vote. Like you were telling us about your plans and your secret alliance. And I knew you were in that other alliance, by the way. Um, and yeah, that's why you had to go, because you just kept lying. So, it was an easy choice. Maybe don't hold the cards too close to the chest next time, and when confronted with the truth, answer in truth. That's all I could say about that. But thank you for the vote. One of the only 2 votes that I got in this game. Yeah.
All
Next.
right, next up is our 10th placer, Chris V.
um
Beautiful gowns, nice gowns. Now let me Man, he was sweet. He was cute. I wanted to play with him. I'm sad that he didn't stick around or make merge. I got really positive vibes from him. Um, he had a really nice smile. I know that he was like kind of like a stoner kind of dude. Like I like those kinds of like stoner chill dudes. Like, so yeah, I was bummed I didn't get to play with him. But hopefully maybe in the future, maybe he'll try one of these again. I've heard nice things about him. It sounds like he was like on an island and got like the booty end of the stick on teacups, but yeah, cool dude.
yeah, I don't really have much to say. I mean, I felt like it was he aligned himself with the wrong individual per se. That individual being, Logan,
Mm.
and clearly the next one gone from that teacups tribe. So, I mean, besides that, I really don't have much to say.
All right. Well, congratulations on making merge. Next up is ninth placer and the Queen of Ponderosa, Rachel.
Rachel.
We did this for you, Rach. You see us, right? You see where we at? That was for you, boo. Damn, Rachel. You know, we had a good thing going with Rachel. Like, I really trusted her so much. Like, between like Marvin and Rachel, they literally like right here. Like, um, that was probably the one time that I did not know anything about the vote. And I definitely was like shocked and gagged and like that was crazy, but like she was so like just a good soundboard to like bounce ideas off of. She was always down. She was loyal, which is like something that's really, I think, beneficial in games like this. Like, you know, I knew that if I went to Rachel needing to talk something through, that shit wasn't gonna go anywhere. And like similar to like with Marvin, you know, like I think that that's kind of why we work so well together is like just keeping things close, you know, keeping things close to like within that group, we could just talk openly. So yeah, it was crazy to see Rachel go, but we got Williams asked for her. And you know, we eventually got Sam too, and the rest of the teacups that got kind of froggy after at merge. I understand why they did what they had to do, but mess with the bull, you get the horns. You know what I'm saying? That was for Rachel. All of y'all.
Yeah, no, I'd have to ditto basically everything that you just said. And then not only that, but her not getting phased as to with like people coming with her with like information. Like example, Chris O trying to psych her out by saying that I like him, Eric, you, and I haven't had any form of communication with her. I'm like, that's just some bogus ass crap right there. She didn't budge. She just went along with it so she can get information and bring it back to us, and that's one thing I really loved about her and her gameplay. She was very loyal, very genuine, and was very easy to talk to and able to like play with. So, love you, Rachel.
We love you, Rach.
Cliffhangers are here for you.
Cliffhangers.
All right. Next up is your eighth placer, William.
William, I don't know, like we just had a William. Yes, you just went because you got Rachel, we got you, essentially. But very nice guy.
Yes.
From the interactions that we had during the swap tribe portion, which was like one round, maybe two, one, two,
It was 2 rounds.
two. And it was nice interacting with you, I guess, and very good at puzzles. Very good at puzzles. Thankfully, we didn't really have any more puzzles after that, if I'm not mistaken. So, would have been nice to see how well you would have done throughout the rest of the game, but you know, we did what we had to do, and yeah.
Yeah, William, I honestly I really do like William as a person. Like, but you know, I was watching old conversations of you and I, Marvin, when we were on the you know, when the swap tribes or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were already plotting on his ass. We were like, listen, we gotta get William so Sam comes over here and all this stuff. We already were scheming on him because he was like a competitor, you know, he was really good at the challenges, smart guy, likable guy, held his cards very close to his chest too. Like he didn't give you anything game wise, you know, so that was something that I noticed about William. I mean, but apart from like the game, I really liked William. I sent him like a whole bunch of skincare things to get. Like I made a whole like document to send to him. We talked about Bravo and stuff. Leading up to the Rachel blind side, he was on the phone with me for like right up until like 30 minutes, right up until the damn tribal, being like, yeah, I got your back and all this stuff. And I'm sure Sam like sent him there to probably like babysit me or something. So when he blindsided me, I was gagged. I was like, oh, okay, William's here to play. I was like, don't worry, because we already got your number and we're gonna get our lick back next round. So William, that's why you went. But you're so cool, so cute. And I think you were a tremendous competitor in this game had you stayed, and maybe, I don't know, had you stayed, I definitely would have been worried. So the moment you were vulnerable, Marvin and I knew that we had to go in for the kill.
Yep.
All right. Next up is our 7th placer and the result of Billy's Big Brother night, Eric.
Eric.
Oh man, I love Eric so much. You can start though, Marvin. I'll go after.
So, I've known Eric for a while, a couple years, a few years, I don't know. And this was the one time I feel like we actually like worked well together. And Eric was not someone I wanted to go because I knew Eric would have essentially filled in that slot of the missing piece that we just had lost that previous like 2 rounds before that when we lost Rachel. And I know he was ready to make the cuts that were needed to make, which were the ones that we knew we needed to make going forward after that. And it's unfortunate that shit happened the way it did. Did I want him to go? Absolutely not. Did I see him as a threat? 100%. But at the same time, it was someone that was willing to work with us and actually be open and honest and everything about stuff. And that's one thing that I appreciate and love about Eric, especially in this game. So amazing, amazing guy.
Yeah. I love Eric down. Like I've definitely made a new friend in Eric, like, very like nice, cool, funny guy, very like maybe emotional at times. I think that what ultimately led to his eviction, right? Because it was Big Brother round, was some blind spots that he had in the game. I think that he played with a lot of heart. He was a good ally to me in this game, very loyal. And man, that one hurt. That one hurt. I couldn't vote him out. Like we talked about that whole thing. I like Marvin and I we couldn't vote him out. So and I guess the rest of them had something going on, so they ultimately did the work. But yeah, like there was just no way I could have voted Eric out. He was so tremendously valuable to my game, and I freaking love that kid. To be honest, that's a good guy right there. So I have nothing but awesome things to say about him. I just wish he would have woke up a little bit earlier to but then again, if he did, I don't know, maybe he would be here right now because he was, making those relationships. So yeah, Eric, you had to learn the hard way, man. I'm so sorry, brother.
All right. Next up in 6th place is Julia.
You can go.
Okay, Julia. You brought a lot to this game. You were beating the challenges. You were giving us drama. You were giving us tears. You were giving us underdog too. Like when you came back and won the POV, like that. You were giving iconic shit. I think unfortunately we like you came into this game with this reputation that everybody was kind of like, yeah, she's the one to beat and things like that. And I, listen to that. And I think that certain things that you'll learn about, tomorrow at Final Tribal Council pinned us against each other. And, that's why we ultimately like didn't have that bridge. But Had we ended up on the same tribe, I mean, who knows? Maybe things would have shook out differently. I think that you are a hell of a competitor. I think that you are super fun. The chats that we've had have always been like nice. And you're so young, like this is the best time of your life. Like go out and do all the things, drink all the drinks, and have a good time. You're a queen and you're an icon. So claps to Julia.
So yeah, Julia is one of my good friends here, and I fucking love her. Bummer, we started off on different tribes, but at the same time, I can understand why, possibly because of too close of a connection there. But yeah, no, like fucking love her. She definitely is the one to beat. Seen it, I've experienced it, and if I'll be honest, I feel like had she and I had cross paths a lot earlier, I probably would have jumped ship over to her
Ah,
because I know how well she and I work together, but at the same time, it just really depending on the connections. It's all about connections. But when it comes down to it, love her, amazing, big strategic social threat, and obviously physical threat when she puts her minds to it, and then she's able to actually, you know, put full attention into these games and competitions and whatnot. So love her, and you know, just love her. So yeah.
All right. Next up in fifth, we have Al.
You want to say something?
you start. You start. I gotta think about what to say.
Okay, so Al, it's my third game with them. They, from what I've experienced in the other two, they people tend to put them in like a box and don't think that there's someone special. Al, like just get to know Al, amazing person. Is the humor different than what people are used to? Absolutely 100%, but I fucking love it, and they'll tell you how it is. They don't care. That's one thing I love about Al, and I've learned to understand the type of humor that they have by actually communicating with them. And such a genuine person, such randomness, but that's perfectly fine because that's who Al is. And Al, once you see this, don't ever fucking change because you are a fucking amazing person.
Yeah, I'd like to echo that sentiment. Like I've had a couple chats with Al in this game. We didn't play together, obviously. But from the chats that I've had they were very pleasant, like quirky, but in a charming way. Very kind, sweet, like respectful, I think as well. Like I think they were playing a loyal game. I think just on the opposite side, from what I've gathered about how they were playing this game. Um, yeah, I can't say anything. I think Al is awesome. We just obviously didn't play together, but I think Al is awesome. So yeah, good job. Good job. And I mean you made it to five, child. So you was doing something right.
Next up is our fourth placer, Sam.
I love Sam so much. Um, I fucking love Sam. I mean, that bitch played in our face too many times and we kept saving his ass. But I think that's just a testament to his social game and also like the fact that like I just liked having him around. I like talking to him. Like I would get on and like be doing my makeup and Sam and I would be like kiki king about bullshit, talking about, songs and things like that. Like he's just a fun, like cool guy. he definitely had like this like underdog story, being, you know, on the bottom of his tribe and kind of always in danger until Marvin and I adopted him and stuff. But even when we adopted him, he still moved against us. He still was like, I'm gonna vote for you. I don't care. I think that that's funny because that shows like you're, you know, you're playing an individual game. So yeah, I freaking adore Sam. He was definitely the Michelle in Destiny's Child. We'll find out tomorrow who's the Beyonce, but he definitely was the Michelle. And yeah, I just had so much fun. And that was probably one of the hardest choices that I had to make in this game, as far as like who to vote out. Because up until that point, I really hadn't voted out like anybody that I adored, you know? Like, so that was one of the toughest ones for me.
Okay, so Sam, again, someone I've known for quite some time. This was the first time that he and I have actually legit worked together, because he usually goes goodbye to me. And you know what? I took chances and put that behind me, because that's different games. Different games they were in the past. But yeah, no, I feel like I definitely trusted Sam a lot. I mean, when it came down to it, when it was between Al and Sam, and I was getting woken up, asked, "Hey, who are we voting?" I'm like, Al, saving Sam, because at that point I knew we needed him still. We needed him still, as much as he was working against us at the same time. I knew that Sam would not essentially intentionally go after us. But amazing guy. I love him. And when it comes down to it, he I think he learned that the only way to actually get me to talk is not by messaging me, but actually calling me.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's one thing he learned, and that's fine, because we were able to actually have conversations and, you know, discuss plans and figure out what was going on throughout the game. And that's one thing that I really did enjoy about Sam, is that he was actually putting the effort in and trying to work with other people rather than the people that he started with.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That was the only teacup I think that I worked with at all.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, he definitely was like, "Where's Marvin at? Hit him up." I haven't talked to him in 3 days. I'm like, okay, I will. But yeah, oh my God, I love Sam so much. Ugh. It was so hard to pull him out. Oh my God. I like missed him too. Like even like these couple days, I'm like, damn, I want to like talk shit with Sam, but it's okay. Whatever. I'll see him tomorrow.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Your last person. Chris O.
B, you can start. You started.
Why me start?
Because y'all went on your little thrill ride together.
Okay, yeah. So Chris, okay. What can I say about Chris? I love Chris as a person. I think he's such a cool dude. I think it was so hard for me to really trust him in this game, though, even though we made like a final two day one. It was so hard for me to trust him in this game because I know he was playing so hard. Like he was just playing so hard and making things all over the place. And that's just like I can't with all that extra, you know? There were some times where Chris would get out of line and you know, you gotta yank the chain on him and be like, Chris, ven pa acá, come over here, relax. Like, but he just, you know, he's gonna be scrambling. He's gonna be strategizing down all over the place. So you gotta let the dude play his own game. Yesterday was really hard for me to make the decision to clip him at final 3 because I think he really it meant a lot to him this game. And I know how badly he wanted to make it to the end. Um, but ultimately it was just came down to for almost the entirety of this game, we were, various people were planning on ways when to cut Chris, when to get Chris out of this game. And I don't think that that's stuff that he necessarily knew. I think he was a little delusional at his position in certain things, but it was like funny. It's like work, like living your fantasy. Like you made it to the final 3. So, like that. I mean, confidence is everything. Yeah, Chris definitely a gamer, played hard. Like that was a hard vote for me. I feel like yes, I did. Like that's probably the one person in this game that I like betrayed, so to speak, right? But I got my reasons, and it was late in the game. So yeah. Kudos to you, Chris. You played a great game though, dude. Like you did. You were the one the most. But the most got you to final 3. So yeah. Go, Chris. And I love you too, boo. Like I love you down. So yeah, this is for you.
So, Chris, love the dude. He's way too fucking strategic for his own good. Like he said on his way out, give him time and he will be able to do what he needs to do. And that's also building those social connections. And if I'm not mistaken, out of everybody in this game, I'm pretty sure he was the one that was most socially connected and had spoken to every single person in this game at one point or another. And that right there is for a recipe to win this game. And the thing that I will say when it comes down to Chris is that yes, he may be very strategic, but at the same time, he scrambles too much. He gets paranoid too much over the smallest things when no one else was talking about it. He would be the one to bring it up. What about an idol? What about this? Like, dude, no one's talking about that. Just calm down, trust the people that you are with, and everything will be fine. And thankfully, yes, towards the end, he did calm down a bit. But at the same time, it's just the constant wheels turning in his head, thinking about different situations, different outcomes. And I think that's Chris was essentially the downfall for Corey earlier in the game. We all know this because he's the one who started the whole idea of the 4-4 split at the beginning, but he then realized that it wasn't going to work out. So like I said, the wheels kept turning. At a certain point, he will come to a what's it called? To a roadblock, knowing that certain plans aren't going to work out unless you're able to have people behind you to actually execute those plans. And I think he realizes that. And that's one thing about like a strategic player. A strategic player will plan shit out until they know that they can't, and then jump to a different plan because that's just how things work. And loved him. Always traveling from like the last couple of weeks, but hey, he did what he had to do. He still managed to compete and show up to tribals when he could. But loved the dude. And you know what? Here's another one. The tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah,
We're here for
tilt-a-whirl. Hashtag tilt-a-whirl.
So yeah.
Chris, claps for Chris. You gamed so you couldn't game anymore, brother.
All right. And with that, we're with you two. Obviously, you guys can say whatever you want about each other, but at the end of the day, you guys are the final two of Distortion Survivor Thrilltopia. One of you will be crowned our 7th winner. And yeah. So with that, I'm gonna stop the stream and we're gonna get into